What does it do, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Scotty Says. I am your host, and welcome to episode 70, the big 7-0. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I almost wasn't going to even give you an episode this week because it's such a short turnaround from the Rams' abysmal display Sunday at the Palace in Inglewood to the Thursday night game against the Raiders at the Palace. And it's pretty much the same old. And so I thought maybe I'd just combine a couple episodes in one after the Raider game. But, breaking news out of LA, the Los Angeles Rams say it ain't so. Tell me it ain't so. The LA Rams and Coach McWonder have signed Faker Mayfield at quarterback, claimed him off waivers. He was cut by Carolina. Nobody else wanted him. McGenius said, we'll take him. And it just goes to show you how reluctant he is, how unwilling McWonder is to give Bryce Perkins a fair shot at starting quarterback. He just doesn't want to do it. And I was disgusted with the starting lineup when I saw it on Sunday against Seattle. I had hoped that following his initial start in Kansas City, McGenius would allow Bryce Perkins to run out there against Seattle and see if he couldn't pull a win out of the hat. But is that what he did? No. He went right back to McVay's protege. He went right back to the Wolford. And I told you, ladies and gentlemen, the Wolford ain't it. And so, once again, the Rams take another L. They've now lost 6 in a row. 6 straight since coming off the bye at 3-3. They dropped to a pathetic 3-9, and they are officially now in the midst of the worst title defense of any Super Bowl champion in NFL history. Something wrong. Think. And I can see where the problem lies. It lies right there at the feet of Coach McGenius and the Sneester. And so what we learned during the run-up to the Seattle game was that Matty from the D, a.k.a. Doctor Who, a.k.a. the Poltergeist, has been placed on the injured reserve list and more than likely is done for the year, and he needs to be. There is no sense in bringing Matty from the D back to take not one single solitary snap the rest of this season. And so with Matty from the D out, and with Bryce Perkins having started in Kansas City and with the Wolford once again nursing another injury, because as you know, the man knows his way around the inside of an ambulance. He stays hurt. And so I hoped that McGenius would see fit to let Bryce Perkins have a second go at the starting gig on Sunday. I was gonna even go to the game. And the word came down Friday from McGenius Central on high that the Wolford was his choice to start against Seattle. And I immediately sold my ticket. I don't want any further parts of it. And if you know anyone who wants to buy in, please have them see me, because I don't want to go to another game at the Palace under these conditions. And so As it turned out, Bryce Perkins was dressed as QB2. The Wolford started the game, and as I expected, was unable to bring home a W. Also inactive Sunday versus Seattle, Lance McCutcheon, and AD 99 the Beast with that high ankle sprain did not play. And, of course, the O-line shuffle continued. And that was, on Sunday, the 12th offensive line combination to start in 12 games. And so you had in McGee's familiar 11 personnel on Sunday. You had the Wolford starting at QB. Stoney starting at wide receiver, along with Tutu, and the imaginary Van Jefferson. And the Grill starting at tailback, Cam the Grill Akers, along with Higbee. No soup any longer, just a Higbee. And the Rams started the game off well and fine enough. They put together a long drive and scored. And for a time now, it looked like they were going to try and hold the Hawks off. The D was playing strong. The Grill was running well. And even the Wolford seemed competent early on now in the beginning. And at the end of the first quarter, it was 10-7 Seattle. But as we moved into the second quarter, the true nature of the Wolford revealed itself. And you began to see exactly what I've been telling you about. The Wolford is not the answer. And now it's obvious that even McGenius recognizes that. Why else would he bring in a washed-up has-been like Faker Mayfield? And the rumor is Faker Mayfield may even start Thursday night against the Raiders. And if that is the case, you got another L coming, I can guarantee. So early on in the second quarter, the Wild Wild Wolf, sick as a dog, is picked off, intercepted, and you see McGenius on the sideline, consoling the Wolf, telling him, don't worry about it, Wolf. It was my fault. He accepted the blame and responsibility for that interception. Well, if you saw right at the beginning of the game, McGenius was loving the Wolford up, hugging him and stroking his back and whispering in his helmet ear hole, showing him love. I didn't see him do any of that with Bryce Perkins. He just said, get on out there, run the ball. But the Wolford, see, that's his protege. He loves him, even though he stinks. And so he consoled him and encouraged him and gave him warm, soothing words of comfort. McGenius did. To no avail. And see, the other thing beside the Wolf, and I give the Wolf credit, the Wolf has command of the offense. He's an intelligent enough fellow. But he's not cut out physically for the job. It's just a matter of time. The man was hurt repeatedly while the poltergeist was starting. Hurt and never played. So if he's actually playing, taking live fire at quarterback, it's just a matter of time before that Wolf is going to have to be escorted to the ambulance. I know it. And even McGenius must know it. I'm sure they had the ambulance on call right outside the stadium. Just in case. Just in case. So, After this interception, a dreadful throw, an awful decision by the Wolford, the defense, the Rams defense, showed up, rose to the occasion, bowled up. And B-Wags, let me say a word or two about Bobby Wagner right now. B-Wags, first of all, you can see he's a consummate professional, but this guy is a baller. He played his ass off against Seattle, and he had a little extra motivation. That was his old team. And there was some words exchanged, and things got heated, and I heard, so the story goes, Ashes spoke very fervently before the game, saying, let's win this for B-Wags. Let's be all about it for B-Wags. And Ashes was involved, early on and physical. But again, I wish Ashes played as strong a game as he talks. So, after the defense forces Seattle to punt, the Rams get the ball back. But the Wolford is sacked, fumbles, and fortunately, LA recovered the fumble. So going into halftime, after a Matt Gay field goal, Seattle leads by a point, 14-13. So, coming out to start the third quarter, Seattle receives the ball, but Geno Smith gets strip sacked. And after the turnover, the Rams take over. And on the first drive of the second half, on third down, the Wolford gets waylaid, mollywopped, walloped, and forces a 3 and out. And immediately, the Wolford is heading over to the tent. And I'm like, I knew it. Get the ambulance on call. He's going to need it. What did I tell you? And actually, my hopes were raised. I thought, okay, maybe Perkins will come in the second half now and save the day for us and prove that he deserves a chance to helm the offense the rest of this season, this dreadful, miserable season. And I looked over, I saw a shot on the sideline, and there's the Wolford. He's got this bandage on, and his neck is bandaged, and his arm is bandaged, and he looks like the mummy. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. It's a wrap. But no, it wasn't a wrap. Because on the Rams' next possession, guess who was back out under center? The Wolford. I mean, I'm just thinking this whole time, McGenius, when are you going to stop this madness? McWonder, I wonder, when are you going to kill this crazy experiment? Your protege is not cut out for this. It's only a matter of time before the man is seriously injured. Stop the madness, McGenius. But no, he won't do it. He won't give Bryce Perkins an opportunity. He insists on playing the Wolford. And I'm like, wow, the Wolford came back after that hit? Okay, and McGenius, confident in him as ever, lets him throw long on first down, something he never lets Bryce Perkins do. And the Wolford throws deep on first down. Oh, it's almost picked again. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And the Rams go 3 and out. And at this point, it's 17-13 Seattle. As I said, Bobby Wagner, B-Wags, is playing inspired football. And so on Seattle's very next possession, B-Wags just gangster snatches an interception away from the receiver. Give me that. And the Rams get yet another possession. And the Wolford trots back out under center. And this time, on a handoff, the Wolford is injured again. He gets his ankle stepped on or something, and he's limping. He couldn't make it off the field. They had to come help him off the field. And I'm like, are you serious right now? And then, why, there he is. Bryce Perkins comes in. And I'm thinking, good. Let's see what you can do, young man. And he runs one play, and it's a first down, but it's a run, because McGenius doesn't want to let him throw, you see. So he runs for a first down, big play to keep the chains moving, and then he trots right back off, and the Wolford trots right back on again. And this time, the Rams actually put a drive together. Now, it's the end of the third quarter, 17-13, Seattle. And the Wolf is sacked yet again. He took a lot of sacks, took some abuse, some punishment. And the Rams settle for 3. So it's 17-16 now in the fourth quarter. And I'm like, come on, D. Hold on to him. And they do. They force Seattle to settle for a field goal. 20-16 Seattle. And now we're halfway through the fourth quarter. And I'm thinking, okay, you're down 4. You got to have a touchdown. Will the Wolf be a hero or a wild, sick goat? So after the grill is stuffed on a 3rd and 2, McGenius is facing a 4th and 2, and we're late in the game now. And he makes a good call here. Basically, it was a quarterback keeper, and the Wolford scrambles for 13, first down, keeps the chains moving. Okay. Brandon Powell, who had a very good game on the wide receiver sweep, goes for 20, and then the grill cashes it in. Touchdown Rams, and the Rams go up. 23-20. And now I'm just saying, can the defense bring it home? Can they hold them one last time? Well, Ashes gets penalized for an illegal contact, and that gives Seattle an extra first down. Seattle drives on, and then with just 41 seconds left in regulation, Geno Smith hits DK Metcalf in the end zone with the game-winning touchdown on who? Ashes. On Ashes. And so Seattle will win this game 27-23. Now, the Wolford did have 30 some odd seconds left to try to come up with some miraculous drive and touchdown a la the old goat, but the Wolford is a different kind of goat. And so the Wolford is sacked, and then he's sacked, and then there's a false start, and then interception, a poltergeist strike by the Wolf, and this one is over. And the Rams have lost 6 in a row. And so, there you have it, my friends. This is what it is. And after all that punishment that the Wolf took in the course of the game at QB, well, the Wolf, after the game, was back on the injury report. The neck again, you understand. And, McGenius says Matty most likely won't be back this season, but he does expect him back next year. So McGenius is going to try to run it back with the same cast and crew again next year. I can see it now. Matty from the D, and Soup, and Higbee, and Stoney, and all his proteges with the Wolford at backup QB. The same sad, sorry outcome will be in store, too, if he does. And so, with Matty done and with the Wolford questionable with this persistent injury issue, McGee, in a short week, with just a couple or 3 days before the Raiders come to town, was facing starting Bryce Perkins at QB against them Raiders. And, well, you know he didn't want to do that. So what does the boy wonder do? Why, Coach McGenius claims Faker Mayfield off the waiver wire, and then lets it be known that it is possible he could start against the Raiders. He would rather see a failed Faker start than to give Bryce Perkins the opportunity he deserves. And so I fully expect that the Raiders will come to town and deal with the Rams, and the O-line shuffle, I'm sure, will continue on. And I hope that Bryce Perkins gets an opportunity to get the hell out of there in the offseason. Go somewhere where people believe in him and want to let him play quarterback, not wildcat running back QB. Not where he's buried behind the likes of the Wolford and Faker Mayfield. It's a revolting set of developments. And so, my friends, this is what it is. And the game is coming up very quickly. And so, I'll be back on the other side to cover it. But in the meantime, throw me one of these now. Throw it to me. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about them signing the Faker. And, ring the bell. Hit the bell so you'll be notified when I drop the next video. And until then, my friends, one love.